Today we're going to talk about your BMI and why your health is more than, well, this number. When I was back in the Air Force, this was many years ago, where I was reviewing charts before appointments, this literally was second nature. This is just what you do. You're reviewing charts. You look at your height, you look at weight, and you look at BMI. Those numbers always jumped off the page. That was active duty military, and we need people who are fit and ready to fight, literally. Well, one day a new patient's BMI flagged him as quote unquote overweight. And I embraced myself really for a conversation about lifestyle and risk factors. But then he walked in and he was lean, he was muscular, and clearly in peak physical condition. Nothing about his body suggested unhealthy, but the BMI chart had failed him and me. That moment changed the way I viewed BMI literally forever. The problem with a 2-year-old metric, there's a lot of problems, but BMI, or the body mass index, wasn't even designed for individual health assessments. Belgian mathematician, and forgive me if I say this wrong, Adolphe Quetelet, I think that's the way we said it created it back in the 1830s, right, to study population averages and not the complexities of a single human being. Yet, here we are nearly 200 years later, still using you're really using it as a primary screening tool in doctors' offices, your workplaces, and insurance assessments, right? The problem is simple. BMI is a blunt instrument. It can't distinguish between muscle and fat, nor does it reveal where your fat is stored. It ignores inflammation, blood sugar regulation, cardiovascular resilience, and other markers that truly drive your health outcomes. And for athletes, or anyone with above average muscle mass, BMI often raises a false alarm. And then on the flip side, someone can have a normal BMI and still be metabolically unhealthy, harboring silent risk for diabetes, heart disease, and dementia. In fact, nearly 1 in 3 people with a normal BMI have metabolic dysfunction. Now, we swung between extremes, right? A culture of shame-based weight obsession on one end, and on the other, a radical body acceptance movement born out of survival and self-respect. And as a woman, I completely understand that need for the latter, but the relentless pressure to shrink ourselves for harm, the pressure to shrink ourselves has harmed so many people, countless people, leaving scars far deeper than anything physical. But as a physician, I also cannot ignore what I see in lab results every single day. Rising rates of metabolic disease in people of every body shape and size. And it isn't about blaming bodies or worshiping thinness. It's about caring for the incredible machine that you live in. It's about building strength and energy, preventing disease, and living long enough to enjoy the life you're working hard to build. So your BMI says nothing about, remember, number one, where your fat is distributed. Visceral fat, which is that fat around the organs, is way more dangerous than fat under your skin. Yet BMI lumps it all together. 2 is muscle mass. Muscle is metabolically protective, yet BMI penalizes people who build it. 3, body composition. The ratio of fat to muscle is far more accurate picture of health than weight alone. 4 is insulin sensitivity. So early insulin resistance is one of the strongest predictors of chronic disease and may be present years before your glucose or weight changes. And 5 is functional capacity. Can you walk up the stairs without getting winded? Can you pick up your grandchild? Can you carry groceries without struggling? BMI is blind to these measures of real life activity. So what is a better health check, right? What are some of the metrics that really matter? So, I'm thinking, you're probably thinking, if BMI isn't the answer, what is? Well, there are 5 markers that I would use with patients to get a fuller picture of metabolic health. Number 1 is waist to height ratio. Your waist circumference should be less than half your height. This simple metric really correlates strongly with metabolic risk. Number 2 is body composition. Knowing your percentage of body fat and lean muscle can be illuminating. You don't need an expensive DEXA scan. Those bioimpedance devices or skin fold measures can give a reasonable estimate. And one in particular that I like for the little scale that's actually been studied that you can get on Amazon is an Omron scale, and it has the little handles that you can bring up. Those are actually pretty accurate. And so, again, consistency in using the same device is really important. Number 3 is blood pressure. Consistently elevated readings are a silent predictor of heart and kidney disease. Number 4 is fasting blood glucose, fasting insulin, and your hemoglobin A1C. Now, you'd use your fasting glucose and fasting insulin to check a calculation called HOMA-IR. Now, these three markers together tell you very, how efficiently your body manages blood sugar. So fasting glucose and hemoglobin A1C show your average levels, while fasting insulin and the HOMA-IR score you can calculate it from. The score you can calculate from it can reveal the hidden insulin resistance years before your blood sugar even rises. Number 5 is strength and mobility, right? Can you rise from the floor without using your hands? Can you hold a plank for 30 seconds? Now, these functional assessments predict longevity as much as any lab test. So even if you can only start with 1 or 2 of these markers, you'll have at least a clearer picture of your health than BMI alone could ever measure. And I do want to say, here's the truth. You don't have to choose between loving your body and caring for it. In fact, self-compassion is the foundation of lasting change. Research shows people who accept themselves are more likely to stick with healthy habits than those who punish themselves into submission. Acceptance is not complacency. It's just saying, I'm worthy of care exactly as I am. And from that place, nourishing your body becomes an act of respect, not self-criticism. So here's a few practical ways to embody this. Shift the focus from weight loss to energy, mood, and strength. You may want to choose a movement that you enjoy. Is it walking, dancing, resistance training? They all count. Embrace a nutrient-dense diet that makes you feel good after meals instead of focusing on deprivation. And track your progress with health metrics, not just a scale. Celebrate a lower blood pressure reading or the ability to carry heavier groceries. And so, again, there is a path forward. The BMI, may remain that quick screening tool, but it should never be the final word on your health. And you are far more than a chart, my friends. If your goal is to live a longer, more vibrant life, focus on what you can influence every day. How you move, what you eat, how you manage stress, and the quality of your relationships and sleep. So just start with one small action. Maybe it's schedule a blood pressure check. Ask your doctor about adding a fasting insulin to your next lab panel, or measure your waist to height ratio. Each is a quiet investment in your future self. Because again, remember, real health isn't about fitting into a particular category. It's about building a body that allows you to show up fully in the life that you want today and decades from now. So what should be your next step? To help you put in this action, I created a Metabolic Health Self-Audit Worksheet. And this is honestly one I've created an entire course around, but this sheet you can get for free if you click the link below, head over to Substack, and you can download it. It literally walks you through each metric, calculate the HOMA-IR, understand where you stand, plus what small steps you can take today if you're not in the optimal range. So just click the link below and go download the sheet, and I will see you here next time. I'm Dr. Lori Marvis. Now, if you've ever taken a multivitamin, you've probably assumed it's giving you everything that you need. But the truth is, most women's multivitamins are filled with nutrients that you're already getting from your food, while skipping the ones your body really needs to thrive. And that's where the For Her Essential System comes in. I co-created the For Her Essential System with Complement, a science-backed supplement system that provides the essential nutrients women need for optimal health. It's designed to support hormonal balance, energy, bone health, and much more, with just the nutrients we struggle to get without the unnecessary fillers. What sets the For Her Essential System apart is that it is specifically formulated for women, with dosages based on the latest research, ensuring you get what you need, so you can thrive in everything you do, all day, every day. Now, to learn more and try it for yourself, visit the link in the description below and use the code for an exclusive discount. Take control of your health with the nutrients that matter most.